So it's been a let me emphasize, long time since we've gotten meaningful Bleach content in terms of anime. I've always found it pretty weird that one of the big three never got a finished adaptation, and of course it had to be one of the series I hold closest to my heart. I know sales tapered off near the end of Bleach, but the anime was still extremely popular, and no one can deny the insane influence Bleach has on this new generation of Shonen Jump through series like Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Black Clover. As a Bleach fan, I had already accepted that we'd never get the final arc of the series animated. After all, the arc itself had a tail end that was plagued with issues due to Kubo's health and a strained relationship with Jump. As a weekly reader for the series up until the very end, I left feeling frustrated and sad seeing one of my favorites go down like this. Oh, and before I continue, spoiler warning for Bleach 1000-Year Blood War. If you haven't seen or read Bleach, it isn't that long, just like 300 something episodes, so I'll see you back here in 5 minutes. Carrying on, I kept up hope for the first couple of years after the manga ended, but after 3 years of disappointments, the reality of Bleach's anime never coming back finally sank in. That is, until 2021, when, out of nowhere, we got the announcement of Bleach's 1000-Year Blood War arc getting adapted. With the new director but returning staff members, Shiro Sagasu cooking up greatness with his music, and Kubo's direct supervision where he could work with Period themselves to fix his final arc, all the stars seemed like they had finally aligned. Surely something had to go wrong, right? After all, we're talking about Bleach's final arc, where quite literally everything managed to go wrong, for both Soul Society and Kubo himself, but I'm pleased to say, nothing went wrong. In fact, Bleach's first core of Tybw, which is what I'll be calling the 1000-Year Blood War arc, went perfectly. It took an already strong start from the manga and enhanced it so much more, with meaningful lore dumps from Kubo that made the entire 12-episode stretch, which included a 1-hour finale, an absolute feast for the eyes. I've always found Bleach's adaptation to be pretty good given the format it followed. I know the weekly format is extremely outdated now, with shows like Boruto only using it these days, but even then, Bleach never felt like much of a slog to watch. Well, maybe that's just my nostalgia speaking. But now that Bleach is finally on a normal, seasonal schedule like everything else that's coming out these days, the anime's gotten so much better, from both a production standpoint, but also a pacing standpoint. I was worried about pacing at first when I heard Bleach Tybw was going to be split into 4 cores, but after seeing the first core, I've got nothing to worry about. Kubo's adding a lot, to the story to enhance the foundation he laid out in the manga, from expanding on Yamamoto Sasakibe and the original Gotei 13 to improving upon Unohana's duel with Kenpachi. All the additions have been crazy good. Hype moments in the manga like Yamamoto's Bankai reveal were crazy good in the anime, especially with the extra exposition we got for him when it came to his first bout against Yuha and the Quincy's hundreds of years ago. I love how Kubo also expanded upon Unohana's backstory as well, and her Bankai, and how it was really driven into the audience how much Kenpachi was suppressing himself in the first place. I also am really enjoying the extra screen time given for fan favorites like Shinji and Hisagi, which gives me hope that they'll actually do stuff this arc. I'm also loving how each episode integrates the title of the chapter it's based off of in a unique way. Little touches like this make the adaptation feel so much better, and I also am loving the sound design, which goes ham during the raining scenes, which there are a lot of, in typical Kubo fashion. From Ichigo being asked to save Soul Society to Misaki's death, every single scene involving rain has been incredible, and I'm loving what the rain has been used to symbolize. I also really like how the flashbacks are in some kind of pink filter similar to the one we saw in the opening. It makes the flashbacks more distinct, even if some of them look a little outdated since they came out so long ago. I can't really say too much more on the story since I would risk spoiling the rest of the arc, but I can safely say after the setup so far, with the added story points from Kubo, I've been more excited than ever to see where Tybw goes, especially for Squad Zero. Now, for the adaptation itself, I won't lie, I was a little nervous when I heard Bleach was going to have a new director for Tybw. That is, until I heard who the director was. Tomohisa Taguchi, the man behind last year's jaw-droppingly stunning Akudama Drive, has taken the reins for Bleach's final arc, and damn, has he done a wonderful job with it. This season of Bleach looks quite a bit like Akudama Drive with its distinct style. Not like I'm complaining or anything, because it looks unbelievably good. I've been very impressed with the corrections in particular, with some shots of Bleach looking like they'd be extremely impressive as standalone art. Taguchi has also done extensive work for the animated Persona series, along with some work for Black Clover. On Bleach itself, he storyboarded multiple episodes and even directed the final one, which was, in my opinion, the best episode in the entire core. The production is seemingly healthy given how the episodes look, which is fantastic news for the rest of the adaptation. As for the other staff, we have Shiro Sagasu, as mentioned before, improving upon already one of the best soundtracks in all of anime. And thankfully, Masashi Kudo has returned for character design, which is huge, especially in a series like Bleach, which has so many transformations and forms. Kubo supervising and working with the anime staff closely is the cherry on top of this haul, and honestly, we're witnessing peak Bleach in front of our eyes. With the second core rumored to be even better than the first, coming in July 2023, we're truly in for Bleach greatness, and as a huge, long-time fan, I couldn't be any happier. I also love how Bleach has so many characters that the amount of voice actors they need in the studio has gone to such a number that it's like impeding other productions. That's just hilarious.